Hello and welcome back to Women's Football Talk, the YouTube channel that brings you all the latest news and stories from around the world of women's football. Now, welcome back to our usual weekend preview where we'll be looking at all the games that are set to take place this weekend and the news of this past week. But before we get into today's video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video of ours, and make sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram for all the latest stories. So, news stories of this week. So it was a busy week for international teams as they were announcing their squads for the upcoming matches over this next 2-week period after this weekend's fixtures. So you got the likes of England, Germany, Spain and Canada involved in the Arnold Cup. You got France, Brazil, the Netherlands and another nation in the Tournoi de France. And obviously we have the She Believes Cup happening over in the US. So there's a lot of team news come out. No real surprises in the England camp. Obviously the only player missing of note is former captain, well, technically still current captain Steph Houghton, as she is recovering from injury, so she's not fit enough to be in this team. But there is a welcome return to Ellie Roebuck and of course Lucy Bronze to the England squad for the first time under Sarina Wiegman after missing out due to injury in the last 2 camps for the Lionesses. So the games are in about a week's time for the start of the Arnold Cup, and all the other international fixtures will be getting underway next week. Right, elsewhere, here in the WSL, news of this past week, the manager and player of the month were announced today, being Thursday. So congratulations to Manchester United duo Mark Skinner for winning manager of the month and Leah Galton for winning player of the month for January, after the Red Devils stayed undefeated throughout January and had a sublime month as they saw themselves close in on the top 2 teams in the WSL. And the goal of the month went to Reading's Natasha Dowie for her excellent strike. Speaking of Reading, there was a bit of sad news in the terms of the health of one of their players, being Brooke Chaplin. Absolutely terrible news regarding Brooke, and it was revealed by the club the other day, and I will make sure I get this statement up correctly so there is no incorrect things here. Please bear with me, that she has a bone tumour in her right leg and she will be out indefinitely. So we are wishing Brooke Chaplin a full and healthy recovery from this, and hopefully we get to see her back out on the field as soon as possible. So make sure you stay strong, Brooke, and we get to see you back out there sooner rather than later. Right, now our attention turns to this weekend's fixtures, and here in the WSL we have some absolute crackers. Obviously the main one being on Friday night, at the top of the table between Arsenal versus Chelsea from Kingsmeadow, a game that if Chelsea win they will go above Arsenal in the league, and obviously a win or a draw keeps the Gunners on top. So it's going to be a game that is definitely worth keeping an eye out for, and probably the big game this weekend. Obviously, if you remember back to the start of the season, Arsenal won that game 3-2 thanks to a Beth Mead brace and a goal as well from Viviana Miedemar. So it's going to be a very close fought battle, and I'm not expecting that many goals in it this time. Elsewhere in the WSL this weekend we have the Manchester Derby on Sunday between Manchester City and United from 12:30 at the Academy Stadium in Manchester, and again that's a game that has been announced as a sellout. Obviously those that they can sell out, COVID permitting seats, so you might still see a few empty seats, but it's still a sellout. And then elsewhere we have Everton Aston Villa, Brighton Reading, Birmingham Tottenham and Leicester versus West Ham. So it's a very big weekend in terms of fixtures, and a much needed win for Birmingham this weekend against Tottenham, which is going to be hard for them as they look to put on a fight to stave off relegation for as long as possible. One good bit of news for them though is they will have goalkeeper Emily Ramsey available after the club managed to get her red card overturned last week that she suffered. So is good news there for Birmingham City. Right now, let's head over abroad. We'll start off over in Germany this weekend, and the games come thick and fast. So On Friday evening we have Turbine Potsdam versus Bayer Leverkusen, and then one game on Saturday which sees Freiburg host Bayern Munich, and then the other 3 games take place on Sunday: Hoffenheim versus SGS Essen, Werder Bremen versus Karl Zeiss Jena, and FC Cologne versus Eintracht Frankfurt. Now we was meant to have SC Sand versus Wolfsburg, but that game has been postponed due to the amount of cases in the SC Sand squad. Now we have a look towards the games over in the Netherlands. Again, one game has already been postponed this weekend between Heerenveen and FC Twente. Again, we will let you know when a game for that is rescheduled. But we have Feyenoord versus Excelsior Barendrecht, VV Alkmaar versus PSV, and Ajax versus PEC Zwolle. So obviously Heerenveen and FC Twente and PSV versus Ajax, that was meant to take place last weekend, will have to be rescheduled before the Eredivisie breaks off into its round robin system, where the top half of the league and the bottom half of the league break off into their own little playoff system. However, Ajax did play a game yesterday against Heerenveen, and they managed to win 4-0 thanks to 2 goals from Romelu Echter, a goal from Chester C. Grant, and Nikita Tromp as well. So they were the 4 goal scorers for Ajax. Then we have a look over in Spain, and we had some action this past midweek as well. Over in Spain, we had Levante beating Rayo Vallecano 4-2, Athletic Club Bilbao beating Atletico Madrid 2-1, and Barcelona beating Real Sociedad 9-1. Again, an emphatic victory for Barcelona, and with that victory they now need just 3 more wins to once again wrap up Primera Iberdrola. Looking at the games this weekend, Barcelona, they travel to Athletic Club Bilbao. Elsewhere on Sunday we have Levante versus Real Sociedad, Eibar Real Madrid, Valencia Alaves, Rayo Vallecano Madrid CFF, Atletico Madrid Sevilla, and Granadilla Tenerife versus Villarreal, with the other game between Real Betis and Sporting Covuela taking place on Saturday afternoon. And then finally, over in Italy, it is the second leg of the Italian Cup in the quarter-final stages. So we have on Saturday Fiorentina versus Empoli. Current score at the halfway stage in this tie is 0-0, and then AC Milan versus Sampdoria. AC Milan have a 4-1 lead there. And then on Sunday we have Roma versus Como, with Roma winning 3-0 at the minute, and Juventus versus Inter Milan, with the score currently at 1 apiece. So that is all the international games to look forward to this weekend, and we'll be back at the start of next week to wrap up all the weekend's action and look forward to a busy international period. Until next time, we'll see you soon.